All right, what's going on, everyone? This is Devin at the Valve Amp Hobby Shop. So this is a video just covering the very early phase of this new EL84 Class AB. It's really like, because it's going to be cathode bias, some people would argue that it's Class A. It will definitely not be Class A because I'm probably going to do a slightly conservative bias on this amp. My output transformer just got here today. I scored this thing for roughly right around $30. It's supposed to be rated for up to, 35 watts or so. I won't see anywhere near that kind of power out of these output tubes, but it's supposed to be an 8K primary, so it'll be good for EL84s. I also have some 6973 output tubes that I'm probably more likely to use those than the EL84s. I won't get into the plate impedance thing, but I will say that a pair of EL84s is probably a better plate-to-plate impedance match at the voltages I'll likely get out of the power transformer. The 6973s, at less than 350 volts, could have a nominal plate-to-plate impedance of about 7.5K. If you really ran the plate voltage down to like 250 or something like that, it's more like 6.6K. I'm hoping we're going to be right around 310 to 320 volts on the plates, but I just won't know until I get the transformer here. So if I'm at the lower end of the voltage scale, I would probably err on the side of caution and stick with EL84s, because the EL84s seem to have their plate-to-plate resistance seems to be a little more fixed irregardless of plate voltage. So just take that for whatever it's worth. But here's the output transformer. Really good heavy output transformer. I'm really happy with this. The leads have never been used. It's an 8K secondary, but we'll look at the chassis real quick. This is just a feature of this chassis. I don't know what this thing was originally, if it was a drawer or whatever, but I got it from a thrift store for $2. I put a couple of Carling switches in there just to kind of get an idea how this is going to lay out. I have an input jack right here. The only odd sort of feature of this chassis is that the fact that it's got this partition here, which is nice because it helps it set up a little bit on a flat surface, but it could potentially make positioning the transformers a little awkward. I also have a fuse holder in here and a speaker jack, a little extra wire left over from the prior use of this jack, but you can also see the inside of the Carling switches. Nothing really special going on here, honestly. Where the pilot light, where I have it tentatively drilled, I feel like it's a little too close to the standby switch. I should have located the input jack a little bit further over this way, even if I had managed to get it 3/8 of an inch over that way. And the volume, tone, and master volume, all this stuff should really be shifted down a little bit. And I could have left these two switches where they are, but that would have got the pilot light a little farther over to the right. I may go to a different chassis before this is all said and done. I measured this dimension from here to here is actually only about 9.5 inches. So it's not as big as it looks. We'll just call it 10 inches, right? From here to here is about 11.5, 12 inches. So if I got a really nice solid cake pan, like a 9x12 cake pan, I kind of think I might be better off going that route and just re-drilling. Again, this is the front panel here, which means this will be where, hypothetically, whether it be on this chassis or something else, these two locations will be for the preamp tubes, and just south of that will be the output tubes. So it'll be very much that hi-fi front to back arrangement. So there's a few things that are going to be very much in the unknown with this project. I would rather not dive into that right now, simply because it's unknown, right? It might be a little more productive to switch gears a little bit and talk about some cleanup work I had done on the other amplifier that I had just built recently. So we'll take a look at that. Okay, so it seems to be working here. So that's a good sound check, and we'll wrap it up with some final thoughts. All right, so just in closing, I think we're at a good spot with this job right here. I'm not a perfect player. I'm pretty rusty, and part of why that is I've spent the lion's share of my time in here recently, but I think we're for sure cosmetically and sonically at a really good place with this amp. I just wish my playing could match what the amp could do, but we're kind of in some kind of a forward motion on this thing. New builds are always kind of that way. This is not going to be a fast process. This is a pretty good solid steel chassis. I would kind of like to make this work. Again, the transformer here, I think would sit nicely right about just like that, you know. So we're at wherever we're at here, and I'll get into more of the specifics with the circuitry and the phase inverter and all that kind of stuff later. Right now I'm just trying to keep the discussion kind of where we're at. But that being said, I always appreciate it whenever you stop by, and keep an eye out for the next one. Thanks.